Hello, everyone. Another new episode of On Film and Cooking with Kyle and Alex. I am your host, Kyle Hayes.
And Alex Crawford here.
Yes, so we want to actually just right off the bat apologize to our viewers that it has been so long since our last episode. This sort of started as a weekly venture, but for whatever reason, we put it off several weeks, and it's been about a month, I think, since we were last in the room together.
I don't know how critical it is to discuss that, but here we are now.
Well, I mean, it's a weekly show. I like updating our viewers week to week, or our listeners rather, week to week about what we're doing here. I feel like it's just sort of been like an awkwardly long gap, and that I was totally willing to host this at my place.
Well, and I guess there was the possibility of you had this idea of having everyone from the crew and cast come by. I guess they could have done it once a week, someone, I guess, but...
Yeah, but I mean... This is a show that we co-created together, so I wanted to have you, my co-host, on the show as much as possible. Seems sort of counterintuitive to just start a podcast with someone else when we have the existing library of episodes. Anyways, Alex is here now. Kyle, I'm here now. My film, Broken Hearts, is in post-production still. And the post-production, people don't tell you this, but the post-production process is actually a lot longer than the production process. There's all sorts of things you have to do. You have to mix audio, mix music, you have to color grade the film, you have to edit the film, you have to add credits. It's a really, really long process. My film is not particularly long itself, but it has become somewhat of a long process. I love it. I love every second of it. And the things that I'm seeing on screen are, amazing, truly wonderful, exceeding my expectations.
And you're going to have an individual credit for each of your roles, I guess.
I haven't really thought about how I'm going to itemize that yet, but it's possible. So I'm pretty close to the post-production process. I need a couple more days or weeks or whatever. But I found this loophole in one of my submission packages. I have submitted the film to a major film festival. That's really the big news of today's episode. Submitted sort of a working cut of the film. So not everything on the film is completed, but the festival said they do accept unfinished cuts.
And they're judging it based on that.
Well, they're not judging it per se, but they're analyzing it, I guess is a better term.
Deciding whether to have it in their festival or not.
Yeah. So there's one round of submissions, and then another round of submissions. I'm going to have the second cut of my film done by then. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to name the festival per se, because I feel like, the festival jury might not appreciate that. But I'm really excited. I think we're definitely going to be a suitable entry, perhaps even a suitable selection. I'm pretty excited about the fact about Broken Hearts premiering at this major festival in a couple months' time. I think that's really the road we're going down right now, and I'm pretty excited by that prospect. And in other news, since we last spoke, it's been about 1 million years since we last spoke, it feels like. I've got myself a new job. Currently doing, I get to do what I love, so that's really exciting. I get to edit. So, I'm editing by day, and I'm editing my passion project by night. So I'm just, in front of the computer a lot, mixing. But currently working for this company. I'm editing their sort of conference footage for reuse.
Corporate.
Yeah, it's corporate. It is a very corporate job. It's
lots of responsibility.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot on my shoulders. There's a lot of footage that comes my way every day. And, it's my job to just make it look good, make it presentable, sometimes fix existing issues or introduce new sort of innovative ideas. The footage that I shoot and edit, it looks really, really clean, really crisp, and it's kind of a a fun, odd experience. Sitting at a desk all day.
The conference footage is crisp and clean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I shoot
Uh-huh.
it, so I make sure it looks as good as possible, and then I edit it. So
So fun and new, not in relation necessarily to the
Yeah.
short film.
I have edited some other stuff that I have not shot, and that doesn't always look quite as good. But then it's a new challenge to make it look good. But you're right. Yes, editing conference footage is very, very different from editing my own short film. I think that should go without saying, actually. But yeah, it is. It's fun. The company's good to me. The company supports me.
I also have a new job. I had to move on from the catering business. Unfortunately, we didn't necessarily see eye to eye.
You got fired?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You didn't see eye to eye?
Yeah, we just see catering differently.
Why
By
are you
going on
making-
cooking.
What I don't understand. Like, don't they tell you what to prepare? Like, why is this a political issue that you have to disagree upon?
Hardly political, but it's just the case that I wanted to work really hard and see the company go far and grow. But they seem to be content with their position for now.
Right.
They don't necessarily feel the need for really special sauces,
Right.
spices,
Anyway, okay, I'm sure they had
new
their
mixes.
I'm sure they had their reason for firing you, but
It wasn't firing. It was an agreement to disagree, to take our separate ways, and we'll see down the road. They even said they were open to featuring some of my creations if ever they have a need, and have a particular.
feature your creations,
Yeah, if they ever have a particular.
but without
event.
you. Without
No,
you.
with me.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going forward with my creations and seeing where that takes me. Speaking of which, I didn't have a ton of time to prepare for this episode, but I do have a particular love of cereal, specifically granola, and there's really a world of possibilities with granola.
Alex, I don't think anyone is listening to a cooking show learning how to prepare cereal.
Granola is
So cereal
you're
is
right,
the kind
I'm
of
sorry.
thing.
I shouldn't have said cereal because it's
Cereal,
not cereal.
cereal is the kind of thing you prepare if you don't know how to cook. So I don't see how that's relevant.
Granola is a world beyond cereal. You're right. I shouldn't have mentioned that.
Okay. Anyways, what is your new?
Granola is baked in the oven.
So you
You
work
bake it yourself with the raw ingredients, and from there, you can have milk, but you can have yogurt. You can have, even water.
Is it
if you're
something
in a
you cook
pinch.
or something you bake? Because
Bake in the oven, and it's a wild ride from there. You can have strawberries, and it's fun to make specific mixtures, strawberries and cream. But
okay,
then,
we're
then you can
we're
have
getting off track.
then you can have a
what
real
is-
big mixture with just
What is this new job of yours?
all the extras from the fridge in there. And I'll give you this one little hint:
Okay, one hint. That's it.
date squares. Date squares in granola is the nec plus ultra, as they say in French. It's the maximum. It's
Okay.
really taking it to the next level.
We can circle back to this
This
later.
is a bit of a simpler episode, but it will really bring you and your whole family a lot of pleasure if you take that step.
Okay. Why?
But my new job pays way more, fortunately, than the catering one did, and will therefore support my efforts to continue to explore in the culinary realm.
That's cool. I really like my new employer too because what's interesting about them is that travel is paid. So they're like over the next couple months, my company's gonna be dispatching me to different conferences that our employees are attending.
Well, that's funny actually, because I talk to people from all over the world at my job.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm gonna actually get to go places, which is really cool.
Right, but call center you
Places
have
all over North America.
I work.
There's some
You
stuff
have an
happening in Europe
ongoing
later this summer.
contact with people from India.
I don't understand.
China as
I don't
well.
understand what your point is. I'm saying that I'm actually going to get to go to some cool places, and you're telling me you get to talk to people from, like, it's not really the same thing.
Well, I won't be in a little box like you will be. You'll
little
be
box.
like in a building. I don't know how much you'll get to explore. Whereas in my case, I'm not trying to compare or
aren't
compete.
you in a
but
cubicle?
you get to know someone from another culture.
Fair.
And we work together. We're collaborators. I
I'll-
work at a call center. I didn't really say that clearly.
I mean, you're accusing me of being in a box, and
for
it seems
whatever
like you're
reason.
quite literally in a box.
No. Where I work here, I'm not saying it's great. It's supporting my culinary efforts, as I mentioned, but
So
it
you're
is
disparaging
an
your
open.
new job.
It's an open concept space where it encourages creativity.
Right. Well, I actually
and,
like my new job because I'm getting
lateral thinking.
I like my new job because I get to do what I've always wanted to do, in a different way than I might have expected.
You
but,
seem to be suggesting that you'll be traveling like daily, weekly.
I mean, weekly maybe is the hope. But I'm really
Well,
excited.
I mean, I have a really positive boss. She's a lovely person and really supportive. And I'm looking forward to getting to know her.
Okay, getting to know her how?
What are you implying?
I mean, that was a really odd thing to say.
I mean, this is someone you collaborate with on a daily basis. It's someone you get to know. I mean, just to work with.
Oh, to work with. Okay, thank you for clearing that up.
I don't know if you get to contact your bosses much at all. They're probably up a little bit.
Yeah, I've got a
Up
few
there.
different people that I report to. I like some people in my office. They're not the worst. We get along. And it's new enough that I'm just waiting for more work to come in. But the work that I have been doing, I've been really, really pleased with. And I'm going to hope to continue to work there. Yeah.
It's pretty cool too. We get pretty regular breaks, so you're right. I mean, like there's a bit of a stationariness to it, but I can go for little jogs around the office as well.
I mean, if the upselling of your job is that you get breaks, I don't really see how it can be that great of a job, for real. I think you're required to take breaks by law.
Regular breaks where you get to do a little exercise. That's the up point.
I mean, everyone does that. Everyone goes for walks on their break.
Well, I don't know when you're sitting at a computer and you have like a ton of work to do. Us, it's like, well, and I'm not saying it's amazing, but
I feel like what you're saying isn't as interesting as you think it is. Like, you're just saying that you have a job where you go on breaks.
well, the positive aspect is that you only have to work 5 to 6, and then you're done. You don't have to accomplish something regardless of how long it takes. That's
You're
something
saying
that I really appreciate.
you only work 5 to 6?
No, I'm saying a given period.
Oh, okay. That makes more
And then
sense.
I can go
So
home
how many hours a
and
week
go
do you
to
work?
Malaysia.
How many hours a week do you work?
40 hours a week max.
Okay, same. So I
And then
usually
go
work.
to
I usually work.
the grocery store.
The
and
days are broken up a bit, but
pick up
sometimes
some ingredients.
I'll work 40 to 50 a week. Then I'll go home. Then I'll work another couple hours in the film. It's basically been my life for the past month or so.
Yeah, I mean, and I hope that it doesn't, like, overdo you or whatever, get you sick of anything.
I don't know. I can never be sick of Broken Hearts. Like, I think it's really just, I don't know. It's honestly probably just the best thing I've ever done. Like, I'm really proud of the film.
Well, first thing or whatever. And are you gonna share it with any?
Well,
nobody's
festival restrictions are tight sometimes. Sometimes a film can only debut at a specific festival. Sometimes a festival will only take it if that's the first and only place it's showing. And then I have to wait for the festival circuit of this film to die down a little bit before I can release it, before I can even host a private screening of it. So it's going to take some time, but I have enough faith in this film that it will, premiere somewhere.
But during the editing process, I mean, you've shown it to some other editor or someone who might have a professional or something to suggest.
Well, I mean, I am a professional editor. I just told you that I edit 40 to 50 hours a week in my job.
But like a second perspective might be useful. I
don't
I guess
really
this is really
see
like your
why.
project all the way down.
I
the line.
shot the footage, so I know how to polish it properly. I feel like if you were to bring someone else in, you would just lose that.
I just hope it doesn't end up being a film for you, by you, and for you, and
Well,
not
it's
for
not.
anyone else.
It's for us. I mean, you worked on it. Violet worked on it. Serena worked on it. I think we all had a good time working on it. and I feel like it's something we should all be proud of.
Yep.
And it's such a universal, relatable story.
Yeah, Serena
Like,
had a great time.
There's probably anyone our age can relate to this film, I would think.
Everyone.
And I feel like, yeah, it's a very it's a present contemporary story, but I feel like everyone's experienced loss and heartbreak and pain in their life. So yeah, you're right, Alex. It is, everyone can relate to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Literally everyone can relate to this movie.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a couple people that had a different, slightly different, maybe. But it's nuances.
Yeah, nuances. Yeah, the film is. I'm very proud of the film. I'm very excited for the rest of the world to see it, and I'm very confident it will be premiering very soon at a festival. Hopefully, on a future episode, I can talk about how to see the film and when to see the film. I hope to be promoting it as soon as possible. But yeah, that post-production process is just, it's tough, but it's what I'm trained to do. It's what I know how to do. So I'm excited. The post-production is a whole another journey that a lot of filmmakers don't talk about. All right. I think we'll leave it there for today. So I am Kyle Hayes, director of Broken Hearts, and I have been your host today.
And I, Alex Crawford, have also been your host.
And we'll see you next time. Hopefully we won't have to wait as long, but we will see you next time.
Next week we'll be talking about nachos and salsa.
Great.